Nikit gets ready.
Yeah.
Risha Mataji, you can go ahead.
Okay. Om Signora Shalavya Chashirid Miladamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Today I'm reading the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Attachment for Krishna is also of two kinds. One kind of attachment is with awe and veneration. There is a lack of freedom in such attachments, which are exhibited in Madhura and the Vaikuntha planets. In such abodes of the Lord, the flavor of transcendental loving service is restricted. But in Goloka Vrindavan, the exchange of love is freely done. The cowherd boys and the damsels of Vrindavan, although they know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, do not show awe and veneration on account of their thick and thin relationship in great intimacy with Him. Out of these five principal transcendental tastes, awe and veneration are sometimes impediments to perceiving the Lord's greatness, or in the matter of service to the Lord. But in the matter of friendship and paternal affection, and in conjugal love, such awe and veneration are reduced. For example, when Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, they prayed to the Lord with awe and veneration because they understood that the Supreme Lord, Krishna or Vishnu, had appeared before them as their little child. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 44th chapter, 51st verse. Devaki and Vasudeva, after knowing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, began to pray to him, although he was present as a child. Similarly, when Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, he was also afraid and he begged pardon because in his dealings with Krishna as an intimate friend, he had engaged in much unceremonious behavior with him. This is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna prayed, "My dear Krishna, I have sometimes insulted you, calling you my dear friend Krishna without knowing the greatness of your inconceivable power. Therefore, please forgive me because I was mad to address you like a common friend or a common man." Similarly, when Lord Krishna was playing jokes on Rukmini, she thought Krishna might leave her, and therefore she was very much afraid and became perturbed. At that time, Rukmini was fanning Krishna, and as soon as she was afraid that Krishna would leave, the fan fell down from her hand, and the hairs on her head became scattered. As a plantain tree falls by a blast of windy air, she became almost unconscious and fell down. But so far as Yashoda, Krishna's mother in Vrindavan, is concerned, it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto 8th chapter, 36 verse, that the personality of Godhead, who is worshipped by all the Vedas and Upanishads and the Sankhya system of philosophy and all such authorized scriptures, that personality of Godhead was accepted as if born in her belly. In the same Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 9th chapter, 12th verse, it is stated that Mother Yashoda bound the boy Krishna with the rope as if he was a son born of her body and appeared just like an ordinary child with a material body. Similarly, the description of Krishna's being treated as an ordinary man given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 18th chapter, 24th verse. When his friends defeated him, the coward boy Krishna carried Sridhama on his shoulders. Similarly, regarding the gopis' dealings with Sri Krishna at Vrindavan, it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 30th chapter, verses 36 to 38 as follows. When Sri Krishna took away Srimati Radhika alone from the group of the Rasa dance, at that time Srimati Radhika thought that Krishna had left all the other gopis, although they are equally beautiful. He satisfied her in this way. With pride, she began to say, "My dear Lord Krishna has left the beautiful gopis, and he is satisfied with me alone." She thought like that and felt pride. Addressing Krishna in the forest, she said, "My dear Krishna, I am unable to move anymore. Now, if you like, you can take me anywhere as you desire." When Radhika requested Krishna in such a way, Krishna replied, "You would better come to my shoulder." And as soon as he said this, he disappeared from the scene, on which Srimati Radhika repented very much. When Krishna disappeared from the scene of the Rasa dancing, all the gopis began to repent, saying, "My dear Krishna, we have come here leaving aside our husbands, sons, relatives, brothers, and friends. Neglecting their advice, we have come to you, and you know better what is the reason for our coming here. You know that we are captivated by the sweet sound of your flute, and therefore we have come. Oh, you are so cunning that at the dead of night you have left girls and women like us. It is not very good for you." The word sama means controlling the mind from being diverted in various ways and fixing it up in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one who is so fixed up in the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated on the Sama platform. On that platform, the devotee understands that Krishna is the basic principle of everything that we within our experience. The same thing is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. After many, many births in the cultivation of knowledge, one surrenders unto Vasudeva because he can understand that Krishna is present in everything, that he distributed all over the manifestation. Everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord, and everything being situated in his energy is different from Krishna in his personal form. The same thing is explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in which it is said that when intelligence is fixed on Krishna, that is called the quality of Sama. That is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Samo Manistada Buddhi, that without being elevated to the platform of Shantarati, nobody can be fixed in knowing the greatness of Krishna, the diffusion of his different energies, which are the cause of all manifestation. The same thing is further explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 19th chapter, 33rd verse. Equilibrium of the mind can be achieved by one who has fixed his conclusion on the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the original source of everything. And when one can control his senses, that is called sama. When one is ready to tolerate all kinds of suffering for controlling the senses and to keep the mind in equilibrium, that is called titiksha or tolerance. And when one controls the urges of the tongue and the genital, that is called dhriti. From dhriti, one becomes dhira, the pacified. A pacified person is never disturbed by the urges of the tongue and genital. If one can fix up his mind in Krishna without any deviation. Such a steadfast position in Krishna consciousness is called Shantarasa. In Shantarasa, two things is visible: unflinching faith in Krishna and cessation from all immaterial desires. The specific qualities of Shantarasa: unflinching faith in Krishna, and withdrawal from all kinds of desires which are not in connection with Krishna, are common factors in all the other rasas as well. Just like sound vibration is generally present in all other elements, namely air, fire, water, and earth. Sound vibration is produced from the sky, so this sound is present in all other elements. Similarly, the qualities of Shantarasa and unflinching faith in Krishna and desirelessness toward anything which is not Krishna. These two qualities are present in other transcendental relationships such as dasya, servitorship, sakhya, fraternity, valsalya, paternal affection, and madhurya rasa, conjugal love. Hare Krishna. I will summarize these readings. This chapter teaches us about the devotees' various relationships with Krishna. Attachment to Krishna is of two kinds. One is with veneration or respect, the other one is with awe or wonder. In Vrindavan and Madhura, awe and veneration, the exchange of love with Vrindavan and Madhura, the exchange of love is freely done. The cowherd boys and gopis know Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they do not show that amazement or respect to Krishna because of their intimacy with him. Awe and veneration are the hindrance for perceiving the Lord's greatness. In relationship with Krishna, such as friendship, paternal affection, conjugal love, awe and veneration are reduced. Vasudeva and Devaki prayed to the Lord when the Lord appeared as their son because they knew that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Vishnu born as their son, but they started praying to the baby Krishna. Arjuna considered Krishna as his friend or as a common man. He forgot that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when he saw the universal form, Arjuna begged for pardon because of how he treated Krishna or considering Krishna as his intimate friend. Arjuna totally forgot about Krishna's greatness during that time. But when he saw the universal form, he begged for pardon. Mother Yashoda bind the baby Krishna with rope as if he was a son born of her body. That is the most celebrated pastime of Krishna, which we celebrate during Kartik month. However, Mother Yashoda tried to tie up Krishna. The rope was 2 inches too short. Finally, Krishna allowed Mother Yashoda to let him tie him up. Because of her love and devotion, Krishna let her do that. This pastime teaches us that Krishna can be conquered only with love and devotion. The other story mentioned here is the Krishna's disappearance during the Rasa dance. The gopis left their husband, family, and came to be with Krishna, but Krishna just disappeared. And gopis started to say that Krishna is cunning because he left them at night. They can say anything or do anything with Krishna because of their intimacy with Krishna. After many births, one surrender into Krishna and understand that Krishna is present in everything and he's the control of everything. When one is fix his mind and intelligence in Krishna, then they can achieve the steadiness of the mind. That is called Sama. There are 3 words mentioned in this reading, which are um, when one tolerates all kinds of suffering to control mind is called pritiksha or tolerance. When one can control the urges of the tongue and genitals are called dhriti. From dhriti, a person becomes dhira or pacified. They are not affected by the urges of the tongue and genitals. During the Shantarasa, a devotee develops unalloyed devotion to Krishna and ceases all the material desires. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for summarizing.
Srila Prabhupada Pranati. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Pudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual masters, servant of Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Panchatattva Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadara Pandit, Srivas Thakur, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always accompanied by his very confidential associates such as Sri Nityananda, Sri Gadadara, and Sri Advaita, and by many devotees like Srivasa. Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful incarnation of Sri Krishna, and his associates are even more merciful. They are always engaged in chanting the name of the Lord and are always describing Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The word Hara is the form of addressing the energy of the Lord, and the words Krishna and Rama are forms of addressing the Lord Himself. Both Krishna and Rama mean the supreme pleasure, and Hara is the supreme pleasure energy of the Lord, changed to Hare in the vocative. The supreme pleasure energy of the Lord helps us to reach the Lord. These three words, namely Hare, Krishna, and Rama, are the transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra. The chanting is a spiritual call for the Lord and his internal energy. Hara to give protection to the conditioned soul. This chanting is exactly like the genuine cry of a child for his mother. Mother Hara helps the devotee achieve the grace of the Supreme Father. Hari or Krishna, and the Lord reveals himself to the devotee who chants the mantra sincerely.